up? Welcome to the next episode of Sophisticated Arrogance, the Prelude. Episode 2. I got no game. It's just that these chicks understand my story. And for those that know, they know, man. Like that's a play off of the PG version off of the Nas verse. I got no game. It's just that bitches understand my story, right? So we're gonna chop it up a little bit today, man, on this episode, because I give a lot of advice, man, and I kick a lot of stuff, man. But the thing that a lot of dudes want to know is like, how do I get women? You instilling all of these values in me. You trying to help me become a man of value. You know, to honor myself rather, to respect myself. But how does this equate to me getting women? How is this helping my game? My mouthpiece. How do I attract the women that I want in my life, in my circle, in my cipher? Right? So, I'm going to spit it to y'all a little bit, I ain't that old, so I'm not talking from an old man perspective, man. I'm just like approaching my 40s now. So I'm not too removed from the game, I'm married right now. But, back when I was in the game, I was doing my thing. And there's a lot of things that I learned, The first thing I want to tell y'all, especially, and this is for the young boys, the young bulls, young bros, man, when you come out the gate 18, 20, 21, it gets easier and easier the older you get, right? So I don't want you to ever feel discouraged that you're not getting the quality women that you want, the women that you're trying to go after are, shutting you down, turning you down, disrespecting you, whatever the case is be. Don't worry about that. It's only going to get easier as you get older. It's the roughest when you're young. You know why it's so rough when you're young? Because you don't got shit. You don't got any assets. All you got is hard dick and bubblegum. So when you're young, you're dependent on your game and your style. Because the only thing that young cats really got is fashion. How you dress. Because most of the youngins don't really have jobs like that. They're getting support from their parents. They might have a little, little fast food gig, but they're not really getting money like that, And so it's a lot harder for them because, when a woman turns 18, the market is big. It's not just her peers, her age trying to get with her. When she becomes an adult, she's open to a world of all different men. It's men in their 30s, 40s, even 50s and 60s trying to holler at this 18-year-old, I like to call it like like the release of the cars. Every year they come out with a new model. That's how it feels to men when a new woman turns 18 years old. It's like a new model is on the lot, And so young girls like that are really impressionable, and they go for older men because the older men can offer and provide them more. So you got 18-year-old girls that's dealing with 24, 25-year-old men. So who the 18-year-old men supposed to deal with? They can't deal with minors because, that's statutory rape, jailbait. You know what I'm saying? So they're out here depressed. They're trying to get with these women and women are turning them down because they don't got much. And that's how the game is in the beginning. Slow burn. You know what I'm saying? Slow burn. But it gets easier. It gets easier as you get older. I think it's the roughest is in college, man. College, you get over there and, the girls your age in college, especially if you're a freshman, they dealing with jocks and they dealing with lettermen. If those who don't know what lettermen is, it's people that are in fraternities, alphas, kappas, sigmas, qs. So it's hard for a young bull, But I'm gonna tell you this, always continue to work on yourself and build yourself up and stay with your goals and do what you got to do, because as the older you get, the more successful you become, the more women you'll attract, and that's going to be fact. But that ain't what you here for, because you like, I need pussy now, I need bitches now. I'm not going to wait until I'm 25, 30. So I got you. I got something for you. So I want you to listen. You know what I'm saying? When you are young like that, right? You have to use the assets that you have available to yourself. It's hard to be confident when you don't have a lot of money and stuff like that. It's really hard to be confident. You know what I'm saying? So what you really got to understand is that, you want to deal with women and get your experience up. And I'm gonna tell you something that nobody else is gonna tell you. When you're a young boy like that, go get you a cougar. And I'm gonna explain why. Right? Flip the game upside down on their asses. Why? Because you're gonna get you a cougar, a woman who is a cougar, who's dating young men. She's dating young men because she doesn't need anything from them but sex. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call cougars. Cougars aren't really looking for to have meaningful relationships with young men. That's not what they're there for. They want a young man that's like an energy out of the bunny so they can get the dick when they want. No attachments. None of that. Nobody checking up on them, being possessive, any of that craziness. So that's why the cougars do what they do. And you need to go get you one as a young man and get that experience. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. When I was 16 years old, I was smashing this girl. She was like 27 when I was 16. 11-year difference. You know what I'm saying? 11-year difference, man. Absolutely.
It was crazy though, man. It was crazy. Imagine being that young with a grown ass woman. And you know what? It was one of the best things that ever happened to me. You know why? Because I learned the game. I learned about women from dealing with an older woman. First of all, it gave me a lot of confidence. Because if I'm 16 years old, knocking down a girl that's 27, girls my age, even girls 21, ain't had nothing on me. Because it was like I was experienced. You know, I was smashing a woman that was like 10 plus years older than me. You know, she taught me the ins and outs, you know, about how to deal with a woman's body, you know, how to treat a woman, how to lay it down, how to get women sprung out and all of that stuff. She put me onto a lot of game, you know, and it was a weird situation because she wasn't technically my girlfriend, you know, we were just like kind of messing around, but I learned a lot from it. You know, and it's that confidence that I had coming into the game that allowed me to see women my age and be like, yeah, you ain't nothing, you know, in the sense of, yeah, you know, I'm experienced, you know, and that's what a lot of men are lacking nowadays. They don't come in with that confidence. So because they don't come in with that confidence, they don't really know how to deal with women and approach women. You know, I just had that aura about myself because I was so gassed. My head was so big, you know what I'm saying? Because of, you know, what I was doing as a 16-year-old, it was like I didn't feel any pressure to impress these women that were my age or even a little bit older than me because I knew what I was capable of and I know what I've accomplished so far. And that's really the mentality that you got to get into. That's why I always tell cats, like when you're young, man, go for that cougar to, you know, to get that little notch and experience under your belt, you know? They'll definitely put you on the game. And they're actually looking for young cats too. You know, it's very common to see a woman that's in her 30s with kids, you know, deal with a younger dude. You know, nothing serious, but just because everybody got needs, everybody gets lonely, everybody, you know, gets horny and wants to have sex. They have sexual desires, you know, and a lot of these older women just want all of that without the headache. So you got to take advantage of that, you know, because the game is twisted, man. You know, it'd be actually harder for you to deal with a chick your age unless you're really popping at a young age. Most of us aren't popping at a young age. You know, most of us aren't popping. Most of us don't got it together. We don't got it going on. You know, so it's easier to deal with an older woman. But if you want to deal with the younger chicks, man, I mean, you got to really just kind of like play it by ear. A lot of us, we get stuck in the neighborhood mentality. You know, we don't really get to go outside of our neighborhood, so we deal with the chicks in our neighborhoods at a young age. And most of these bros are recycled in the sense that they're messing with the same 10 to 15 dudes in a 10-block radius. You know, that's what happens. You know, and nobody wants some recycled, washed up chick unless you just want to have sex with her. Then that's how that goes. But you want more than that. You want better than that. That's why you riding with me. That's why you rocking with me, because you want to up your game. You want to, you know, accelerate the process. You know, it's just something to think about, right? I'm going to tell y'all a little story, but I'm going to tell it to y'all a little bit later. You know, so I could bring this whole point home. I just think like as a young man, coming into the game, you just need to focus on getting your life together, doing what you need to do for yourself. You shouldn't even be thinking about settling down until you're like in your 30s. Your 20s should just be about you enjoying life and gaining experiences, dealing with all types of women. I recommend older women. You definitely don't want to get caught out there with no kids and no babies and nothing like that. So I want you to change your mentality. You don't need a girlfriend at 18. You don't need a girlfriend at 21. You don't even need a freaking girlfriend at 25. You just need life experiences. You need to go places and deal with women and have fun, no commitments. Right? One of the biggest lies is that you need to, in order for you to have sex, you need to be in a relationship and commit to a woman. That's the biggest farce ever. You don't need to and you shouldn't. The next biggest farce is that you need to lie to a woman to get sex. You don't. There's women out there that get down just like that. They're with it. You just got to be upfront with it. You know what I'm saying? It'll be less problems in the long run rather than lying to women, telling them that you want to be with them when all you want is sex. Right? So that's something I don't recommend for you when you're in your 20s. I think as you get a little bit older, it gets easier. You're 23, 24, 25. So let's talk about those ages real quick, right? Because that's when, if you went to college, you graduated college, you're hopefully starting your career if you ain't get stuck at a job at Starbucks. If you're still at Starbucks, man, don't worry about it. Just keep moving and keep progressing, man. You'll get the fuck out of that situation. But this is when you're really starting your career and stuff. You got a little experience under your belt by now. I'm hoping that you're not a virgin. You should have been getting plenty of sex in college between the age of like 19 through 23, whatever the case is, right? So, when you get that age, it's all about really just having that knowledge of understanding women, knowing how to talk to women and express yourself. We always talk about game. I got game. I'm gonna hit these broads with this game. I need you to change that mentality real quick. Like my man Nas said, I got no game. It's just that chicks, they understand my story. And it's really all about having a great conversation, knowing what questions to ask, really talking to a woman. A lot of men mess it up because they get with a woman and they be like, yo, ma, hey, shorty, beautiful. You know what? You look good, blah, blah, blah. Trying to see if, I can get to know you, blah, blah, blah. And a woman's going to get turned off by that because you coming straight at her saying, I don't even know you, but you look sexy, so I'm trying to get with you. And that's a turn off to a lot of women. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't really work. You got to understand that women are emotional creatures, and that's not even a cliche. That's just facts, man. They're emotional creatures. And in that sense, it's like, you have to develop a rapport with them. You just can't walk up to a woman and compliment her on how good she looks and try to get her number and expect that she's going to really deal with you like that. For some dudes it works, but for a lot of the dudes that it works is because these dudes are just like either have a lot of money or they just like GQ Man of the Year. But if you ain't that, and most of you aren't, we average dudes, then you got to be a little bit more skillful and tactful about it. Learn to have these conversations, learn to really talk and get to know these women. Pick their brain. Because you're also looking for flags. Just because a woman looks good don't mean that she's a good woman. The broad could be crazy. So you definitely want to have those conversations. And sometimes it's just about talking normally to a woman, getting to know her, getting to check her vibe. And then you go for the kill. You definitely don't parlay that, because you parlay that too much, you're going to end up in the freaking friend zone. Because she's going to be like, oh, he's so smooth, cool, he's so smart, I'm going to make him a friend. Nah, you got to definitely show your interest. But you got to be able to show that you have substance about yourself and that you have something that you like to talk about. Getting to know people is the thing. And that's all I've ever done all my life with these women, is like really just getting in the spot, getting to know these women, going to lounges, just talking to them, having great conversations with them, making sure everybody's all right, they feeling good. Just being a whole vibe in the sense that people like to be around me. I make people comfortable. I make people happy. I make them smile. Women enjoy my company. And then it gets easier from that point, because you don't even got to think about how you're going to bag her. She already with it. She just waiting for you to say the word. She just waiting for you to ask for her number. Or can you take her home? Or can you see her again in the future? She's just waiting for that. Her answer is already yes, right? Because the rule of thumb is like women know after 15 minutes whether or not they're going to sleep with you. This is a motherfucking fact. Even the women who won't admit it, they know this is a fucking fact. Doesn't mean they will sleep with you in 15 minutes. It means that they know whether or not they're going to sleep with you in 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And so at that point, it's up to you just not to fuck it up. So all you need is 15 minutes, man. 15 minutes of conversation to get into her head, you know? And when I'm talking about conversation, I'm not even talking about trying to compliment her or gas her. Now, you don't need to do any of that. You can tell a woman one time, you look beautiful. You look very good tonight. You're attractive, blah, blah, whatever. You don't got to keep, like, emphasizing on that because that's a real turn off, too. Like, keep talking to these women about, you know, how she looks and telling her she's sexy, you know? Have a conversation. Tell her how, you know, after having a conversation with her, you know, how smart you think she is, you know? Things like that. Man, so you gotta expand your horizons and how you deal with these women, you know? Because all it is just conversation. You don't need all that smooth lines. You don't need to hit them with them whack-ass corny lines that they be having in these memes, man. You don't need to do any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't. You just got to be yourself. And like I said, and I keep telling you, it just gets easier and easier as you get older. As long as you get your shit together, as long as you stay focused on what you need to do, what you want your career to be, your goals to be. You want to be an entrepreneur or whatever. You keep working towards that. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to get easier. I tell you, when I was 30, as soon as I turned 30, I had to fight women off of me, man. It was just crazy, you know. I was, you know, a personal story, man. I was 31 years old, man. I got my master's a little bit late, man. I got my master's when I was like 31, you know. But I had a job in the healthcare field for like years prior. Then I became a college professor. You know what I'm saying? I was a 32-year-old college professor, right? And, you know, at that point in my life, man, and like at this time, I was like going through a divorce. Like I just, like me and my ex-wife, you know, just separated. And, you know, me doing everything that I needed to do for myself, when I got back into the dating game, it was so easy. Like women were just gravitating towards me just because I had the confidence in myself from everything that I accomplished. Like I didn't brag anything, but I just was confident about myself. I'm like, I'm happy where I am in life and I'm good. I'm talking to people. I'm enjoying the moment, you know, and women just gravitated towards that. So it gets easier as you get older. And it's crazy. Even now, you know, as a married man, you know, and, you know, I'm out there and I'm just being civil with people and talking to people. It always feels like women are disappointed when they find out I'm married and shit because they wanted to talk to me because I'm just so easygoing and nice and cool. But that's because of that confidence that I have, you know. And so you're going to get that. You're going to develop that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, always remember it gets easier, you know. Got to get your experience up, you know. Get away from thinking about what lines you got to spit to impress these women and start thinking about how can I have real conversations to get to know these women, because getting to know these women is in your best interest. You know, getting game to get in her pants for what? Getting the pants of the wrong woman and you're never going to get rid of her crazy ass. So that's not what you want, you know? So you got to be mindful of that. So just real talk, man. So yeah, y'all, man, I thank y'all for tuning in to the second episode of this podcast. You know, the prelude. There's more to come. I think the next one, man, we're going to take it to the video, man, because I know y'all want to see the face. So we're going to do a video the next time. So the episode 3 is going to be a video. It's going to be lit. Definitely leave comments and feedback in the comment section. You know, let me know what y'all want to hear about for episode 3. You know, because this is for you guys. You know, I'm here because of you. So let me know what y'all want me to kick it about on episode 3, and we're going to get it popping. All right? Until then, peace.